Boris Johnson has just 4 months to start delivering as Prime Minister before being forced out of office, Lord Frost has warned. The former Brexit minister issued the warning to his former boss after he narrowly survived a confidence vote from Conservative MPs on Monday night. He said the Prime Minister deserved his chance to now prove he could start delivering for the country, but that he would be wrong to ignore the scale of discontent felt by his own MPs. In total, 148 of Mr. Johnson's 359 MPs voted to force him out of the top job, with the Conservative leader winning the ballot by a smaller margin than Theresa May won her confidence vote in 2018. Ms. May lasted just 6 more months in Downing Street before being forced to step down. Warning the number 10 incumbent risked a similar fate, Lord Frost urged Mr. Johnson to get a move on with delivering on his agenda or face a new no-confidence vote in October. Mr. Johnson has been granted the right to give the government a fresh start. He deserves that opportunity when one looks at all he has done for the country since becoming Prime Minister, he said, writing for The Telegraph. At the moment the government risks looking overwhelmed by crises. Like the cockpit of a crashing airliner, the dashboard lights are all flashing red. The government has to decide which problems must be dealt with now and which can be left until later. That means a plan, a strategy. He called for tax rises to be reversed, VAT on energy bills to be slashed now the UK is out of the EU, and for the Brexit Opportunities Bill to make the most of leaving the grip of Brussels to be fast-tracked through Parliament. The tax burden is set to rise this year to its highest point in 70 years, and millions of hard-working Britons across the country are struggling with the cost of living crisis. Brexiteers are also desperate for the Prime Minister to start to implement post-Brexit reforms by ripping up red tape. His intervention came after the Prime Minister delivered a speech in Blackpool yesterday setting out his plans for government. He pledged to bring the tax burden down and promised to cut costs for households, businesses and government. The overall burden of taxation is now very high. And sooner or later, and I would much rather it was sooner than later, that burden must come down, he admitted. Over the next few weeks, this government will be setting out reforms to help people cut costs in every area of household expenditure, from food, to energy, to child care, to transport and housing. However, with no details about when taxes would be cut, he risks failing to act quickly enough to appease his critics. Mr. Johnson has for months spoken of his desire to cut taxes without delivering. Lord Frost said he has to show things will be different now, adding, "I know he's a remarkable person and very different from other politicians. We shouldn't assume change is impossible until it's proven." The former Brexit minister quit the government last December, citing concerns about the current direction of travel. He was frustrated by suggestions the government was considering plunging England back into lockdown and rising tax levels. In his resignation letter he said, "I hope we will move as fast as possible to where we need to get to, a lightly regulated, low-tax, entrepreneurial economy, at the cutting edge of modern science and economic change."